morning, babe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can't believe I had to wake up today.
That was quite good. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah,
anyway,
on.
We look like Gabby Windy. Sorry, carry on, did you say?
Yeah.
We're, if you're watching the YouTube, you'll see that we are wearing sunglasses today. And it is because I am protecting my wife.
I can't do anymore.
Nearly had it.
Nearly?
Yeah.
I thought that was pitch perfect, but anyway. So we're wearing sunglasses today. I'm wearing them in support of my lady wife.
In solidarity.
In solidarity. Oh, I didn't even say we sounded like Gabby because Gabby Windy always wears sunglasses to do her podcast. Anyway.
You reminded me of that just before we started recording to make me feel better about this.
Yeah, I actually didn't think of it until that second though.
I've had some kind of allergic reaction or something, and you guys are not ready for the jump scare that would occur.
The jump scare that I had when I woke up this morning.
If I took these off.
It does look worse.
Well, I went to bed last night with holding a hot compress to my eye while you read me Game of Thrones. Lovely, drifted off.
Peaceful
I woke
slumber.
up, I think it might be better for the recording. You were like,
And then I went, oh, it looks
It's
worse.
had like a fold in my cheek where half of the rest of my face had puffed up. So anyway,
It's cute.
I usually have my notes over
yonder.
out of shot, but I don't have any prescription sunglasses and I'm blind as a bat. So
You've shown me how large you've made the font.
my font is about one word is about this big.
Guys, just before we begin,
Yeah.
which is the part of the problem here, we're getting people on our YouTube saying, oh, video starts at 13 minutes in. Oh, girls, love you, but get on with it. No. Do you want a review or a podcast? If you want a review, go read fucking Heat Magazine's review. Do they have an online Heat Magazine?
Okay, Grandma.
Who has like the roundups? Fucking IT? No, I don't know.
Teletext.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I'm
damn
not that old. There's like Heat World. I do think that is a website online, and they will be like, then you'll have 17 spoilers if you want them, or if you don't want them, they're still there. Anyway, this is a podcast, okay? We get conflicting. Listen, the negativity's starting to get to me. We got a really bad review as
just
well.
wash it off, babe.
We got a really bad review. 1 star, said annoying. What was the other thing about it? Like snooty, condescending. Just go and leave us a nice review, please. I've had enough. I need some good vibes. And we've had some new patrons.
Yay!
Probably because I realised that
Focus on the positive first, darling.
Yeah, sorry. Probably because I realised that I'd had the wrong Patreon link in the show notes for a really long time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everyone. And sorry about that, darling.
Pretty much this whole series, was it?
No, I don't think so. But maybe. Sorry. Anyway, so if you want to join the Patreon, the link should work now and the time's now.
Yeah, if you did try before and found it difficult, it should be easy breezy now.
And we
appreciate all feedback.
We do,
but we
well,
can't.
no, I don't want negative feedback.
We can't.
Unless it's sorry. Sorry. Go on.
We can't please everybody. Some people like a bit of chat. Some people like to get straight into it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to bloody do what we want. So
Yeah.
this morning, lucky guys, you got to hear about the thing that's making my face puff
Lucky
up.
guys, I got some lucky eyes. Yeah. So go sign up to the Patreon if you haven't already. If you want bonus episodes, we just released an episode talking about Jojo Siwa and Notes on a Scandal
And Last of Us.
and The Last of Us. And that's going to continue throughout forever. So you're going to continue to get bonus episodes, which is awesome. And if you haven't already checked out our YouTube, you can go watch these videos there. Ding, ding. Was that quick enough for you? Nobel Prize 2234.
So we are going to talk about the final vows.
Finally, vows.
I think episode 37 and 38, but
Yeah, I think so.
I've lost right at the end. I've lost track.
No, I think you're right.
I think that's
a lot of episodes, isn't it, that we've watched?
That's a lot.
I was also thinking about how. Sorry,
go for it.
They're gonna hate this. Nobel Prize 23444. I was thinking about how part of the reason we probably couldn't fucking follow Severance is because our brains have been molded to understand maths, which is repeat the same thing 17,000 times,
Oh my
show
God.
it again, and you will remember. Yeah, I remember the whole thing because I've seen it all so many times.
So true.
But then when we watch Severance, I'm like, what happens in the last episode?
They
What
haven't
happens in
just
the
told
last
me
season?
again.
Yeah, exactly. So my brain's been dum-dummed.
Yeah, we do try and skip through sometimes the various flashbacks that we get. Think, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds
You're
ahead.
teaching me to zoom through the previews as well.
Yeah, because you love a preview.
Well,
I'd have to be surprised.
Yeah, I want to be surprised too, but the temptation of the preview is there. Oh, can't wait to talk about the preview at the end of these. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Well, you'd think you were the biggest hedonist out of the two of us with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, I'm not a hedonist at all.
Well, you are, just not in a drinky druggy type way.
Oh yeah, true. I conflate those two.
You find hedonism in
The
shaking your
trees.
maracas on Animal Crossing.
I have maracas on Animal Crossing and I love shaking. Shake. Just walk around, shake. I'm also doing very important things like planting my carrots and picking them up and selling them.
Thank you for working so hard to keep our life afloat. We need those crops.
Rude.
Oh,
well done for going on Octopath Traveller. Thanks for slaying all those beasts for us and keeping us afloat.
You're welcome. What would we do if we had no carrots and loads of beasts around? We'd be food.
Oh yeah, we would be food.
So we're both doing the goddess's work.
Yes.
Let's get straight into it, baby.
Straight into it. Yeah, good one.
Let's get into it after lots of preamble. I am going to have to go linearly down my notes because I've zoomed in so much that I have to be able to scroll.
Okay, we'll go off yours, which is good actually because I think I only wrote down about Karina and Paul and Jacqui and Ryan.
Well, let's just quickly touch on Beth and TJ, who were actually in the start of this episode.
Can't remember a thing.
Can't remember them. But TJ was just incredibly relieved that she was ending it. I'm like, yeah, good idea. Okay, let's go. Oh, well.
Poor Beth.
Poor thing. Why didn't you do that weeks ago, mate?
Yeah.
When
honestly.
she was like, I just want to know what you want to do.
Yeah,
he could have
he's
been like, yeah, I don't think I do want to do this.
Yeah, just say that.
It's not like you showed off loads and got loads of fame out of it. Well, maybe he has. I don't know.
I don't think so. Although you think about it, MAFS UK, you know, Emma and Casper, I think she's one of the most popular people.
But
she's
really charismatic. She's got big old personality.
I know, but comparatively to like how influencers do on the internet, like you'd assume that one of the other girls would have done better.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that she's doing well because she is, really charismatic. But anyway, so maybe TJ is going to make a name for himself.
Selling boring trousers or something.
Yeah, probably.
You did say like, oh, I wonder if he's going to come to the reunion with... reunion? I wonder if he's going to come to the have I been saying it correct this whole time?
Go on.
Suddenly my mouth is also puffy like my eye.
It probably is.
I wonder if he's going to come to the reunion.
Oh dear.
With a new partner.
Yeah, I said Veronica, I think.
Oh God. I don't
think he could pull Veronica.
I think he'd like that, but he's not Veronica's type.
Yeah.
She obviously likes a popular cheeky boy.
Yes.
I don't think she'd manage to like anyone for very long though. I'm sure she'd
That's
find
true.
Their deepest flaws and drag them over the rocks of her wrath.
Yeah. True.
I think not being able to see anything is getting me in touch with my inner...
Make you more expressive.
Poet, yeah.
Is this
like
the vision
Tiresias.
in my mind?
Yeah, or Stevie Wonder. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamie and Dave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The most...
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I think probably the most enjoyable... Even though I was still like...
Not fully convinced?
No, I didn't know what I wanted. I was still a bit like, oh, careful, Jamie, from a few weeks ago. But simultaneously, I'm feeling... I keep having it ringing in my head that I called Dave a scumbag. And I'm like... That was a bit strong. I thought he was going to cheat. I thought we were going to find out the week after.
I mean, there's still time.
There is still time.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, certainly still time. But as we've seen it, he was really, really sweet
Yeah,
these
he was.
episodes. Jamie's sister tried her best to freak her out again.
I think she was just looking out for her, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think it was fair enough.
And I think it was good that Jamie heard it and took it on and still made the decision, because I think Jamie's strong, and I think she still made the decision that it was worth trying for. Like, and I think she meant it.
Yeah, it was nice when they watched their wedding video back, and Dave was like, "Oh, that was the first time I saw you as your cute little self," or something.
Yeah,
it's like, because often people like focus on themselves and like, "Oh, look, I did this." And,
Yeah, that's so
do
true.
you know what I mean? And he was like looking at her, and
he said loads of positive things about her, like, "Oh, I've never gone out with someone as outgoing as Jamie, and she's just great. Like, I think she you know."
Yeah, and then
Very
she
sweet.
said, "Dave is someone who sees me to my core. He never judges me," which is lovely.
Yeah.
And I think,
Please let it work.
yeah, I think them having met Dave's dad was definitely a turning point.
Yeah.
And he feels like he's been vulnerable to her now, and she's kind of seen him through, because I guess that connects their relationship to the outside world a lot more than the other relationships might not have. You know, like Athena, Adrian hasn't met her kid. Like, she really has
God,
been.
I forgot about them.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
I was like, okay, yeah. So then after that, we'll talk about Karina and Jacqui. No, forgot about it.
I can't wait. And then I think we were nervous. The editing was clever. We were nervous that she was going to say no to him after he'd said yes to her, weren't we?
Yeah, definitely. I thought, oh God, her sister's words got into her ear. But then they were so cute, him picking her up. He picks her up an awful lot, which I think girls like.
Yeah.
I think girls like that. I would never
He
know.
probably-
I couldn't pick up anyone. I do pick you up a bit sometimes.
Yeah, I think you have actually. Probably around the knees.
Yeah. Do my best to be strong.
He probably likes picking her up as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. They're cute. I do love their height difference.
Can you believe they managed to get through those bumps
I'm
and end up there? It's amazing.
really happy that I do think Dave was being really sincere by the end, and I think he acknowledged his mistakes and that he had kind of freaked out, and it seemed all sincere, and I believed him.
Yeah. Also, Jamie's sister was saying like, it's not romantic. It's a friendship. But then when they
Yeah.
were showing like a montage of them together, it seemed really flirty.
Yeah,
and
I think it's romantic.
romantic-y.
And also, even what they were saying in the vows seemed romantic to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jamie's sister literally saw
them
them
on
at
their
the
worst.
wedding and saw them when they'd had the biggest fallout ever. So of course it wasn't going to be romantic then.
Yeah.
But you can see why she's looking out for her sister. But sisters do say really harsh things,
That is true. Well,
because they can say the harshest thing to each other because they're still sisters at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're still going to love each other.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Paul and Karina next?
Very interesting. Yeah. Is that the next on your list? Can you manage the scroll?
I can do the scroll.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Funny.
Gosh.
Um,
I think I have the least notes because I was so I was so animated watching this. Like, oh, come on, Karina. Oh my God, please.
I know. I was so desperate for her to just move on and get past it.
Jesus.
She went to her mum.
Yeah.
Well, her mum came to her in Sydney, which I thought was very sweet. And that terrified me.
Yes. The advice from her mum.
Yeah.
The Catholicism coming out and
Yeah, and I
almost
was like-
saving that stupid man's ass.
Yeah. And I wrote down the problem with Catholicism is that they look past too much.
Quite.
We know this, don't we, from everything? We know this. We know this. Well, Catholics, sometimes, some things can't be forgiven.
Sometimes.
Often things can be, and we can
And
move
I
fast.
think when, if it's like the Middle Ages and you're only going to meet the 5 men that live in your village.
Yes.
And you have to marry one of them, and then you have to look after your sheep enough that they stay alive, enough that you stay alive.
Yeah.
Then you probably have to practice forgiveness quite a lot so your family stays together, so you all don't starve.
Yeah.
And
The stakes are a bit higher.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so if it's like really this old school version of marriage where like it not only in your mind spiritually benefits you to accept your partner for the whole of your life, but literally survival, and like you have to have someone to do life with practically,
Yeah.
then yes, forgiveness is very useful. But Karina has absolutely no reason to have Paul in her life at the moment. She can choose someone else. She can choose no one.
Yeah. And as everyone has said, she already forgave him twice for pretty bad things.
Yeah.
The third time didn't need to happen.
This is the perfect time to jump off.
Yeah. And I think it was good that her mum was, saying forgiving is a part of our faith, but she was also giving her the other side and saying, like, do what your heart tells you. I'm pretty devastated. He's made a really bad decision.
She was nice. I thought she'd be more annoying about it. She was very sweet, saying that ultimately she would,
And she also said, like, the problem is the fact that he didn't realise he's upsetting you. Which is a fact that remains because he's still fucking at the end of this whole thing hasn't realised how he's hurt her or taken any accountability actually. Because every time he says sorry, he then goes to the VT and says, well, I wish Karina was a bit more forthcoming with understanding where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
I
underestimated Karina because I was like, maybe all her worry is coming from what her family will think of him or what other people will think of him. And now that her mum's forgiven him, she might just be like, oh, good, I can forgive him. And, people have kind of accused her of being a bit spoiled and just like still coddled by her parents. And you might think that she would just do I kind of projected that onto her a bit. Like she's probably just going to do what they suggest. But actually she was very strong in her convictions. Also, Paul planting those seeds along the whole competition of calling her snobby and things would have been slyly like paving the way for a moment like this where she might be thinking in her head, oh God, he's going to think I'm snobby if I judge him for doing things wrong, or he's gonna, he was probably trying to make it more likely that she would forgive him.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, I've got,
which I think is partly, that's actually just made me think maybe that is just why he went on the date, because he wanted to remind her, I could always do better than you.
Yeah.
I think, that really, when she was talking to her mum, she was saying like, it makes me think I'm not skinny enough, I'm not blonde, I'm not blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, Karina, my love. No. You're gorge.
It was good to see both of those sides of her admitting that it's made her have all of these insecure thoughts, but then also saying like, I'm a catch, and I know that the two, because that is what it's like when you're besieged by like culture telling you that you're shit all the time, is that inside you're like, I'm probably fine, and then another little voice is like, you're shit, and both things can exist at once.
And also like when she was the angriest, she could say, I'm a fucking catch, but then when she was left alone with her thoughts, she was suddenly like, maybe I'm not good enough. Like you can see how all of that happens.
And him before they left the apartment, trying with all his little scrabbling, I'm so bloody attracted to you, baby. I tell the boys all the time, look at my wife. And
also like, that's not gonna work for her because that is not her vibe.
No.
And also he's just such a show off. Like he's just all mouth and no trousers.
Exactly. And whatever he says like that, she can always just come back round to like, so why did you go on that date then? If you're not giving me a reason why you were doubting or why you were like weak in that moment, you're just telling me, no, but I think you're so, I love you so much. Well, why did you do it then? The more you say that, the worse it makes it seem that you
definitely
did that.
That makes it doesn't work then.
No,
you obviously and all of the flashbacks of her in the previous episodes, you just see her dissociating so much. She goes all quiet and like eyes open and kind of like doesn't really know what to say or do or how to move or how to be, which is really heartbreaking. So I'm so relieved that she did get herself out of this situation.
He deserved it so much.
Proud of her and I knew she was going to do it from the moment she was wearing silver and not white.
Very clever,
subtle nod.
You love to read the outfit cues, don't you?
Yes, of course. So something else that he said, from this day forward I commit to give you my loyalty. I'm like, that's what you should have done originally.
Yeah.
So that's not good enough. His vows were just stupid. All he said was like, he didn't really say anything nice about her. He'd only say really anything that he said about her in his final vows were things that he could weaponize against her to forgive him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was like, you're so kind, you're loyal, you're forgiving. I love all these qualities about you. All of those things are basically things that would let him off the hook.
Yeah.
He said nothing else. Like he didn't say anything about what he actually likes about her.
Yeah.
It was literally just things that would make him look better.
Yeah, so true. And the whole time he tried to portray her as kind of like, you know, insecure, jealous, and he was the strong one and she was the weak one, and actually it was totally the other way around.
Yeah.
At the end, like he doesn't know who he is.
He has no idea.
Like he's just gonna go off and like shag loads of people and ghost loads of people to get over it, but probably message her for months.
Oh, years, years. I reckon he's gonna like turn up at her wedding, going like this, crying.
Oh God!
Which he did again.
He did it again.
So she's had some great lines that we were just like, yes, yes, yes. Like she was saying, I can't be with someone who makes me feel like I'm not enough. I can't look at you the same way. You had me and you ruined it.
Yes.
I was so cringed out when he was doing like, he was speaking in French, trying to like,
oh yeah, trying to bring that
be
one
sexy.
out.
I'm like, no, move past it. No one cares. That obviously works to pick up girls.
I know.
That's not how it works.
Such a move, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I loved that she just like, she didn't walk away at the end. She didn't like
Yeah, she just
say
looked
sorry.
at him.
She just looked at him and like let it land for the whole time that he was trying to cry. It was like pretty brilliant. And she said, I've got the ickiness in me. I was like, yes!
Yeah. He just looked so foolish.
He did.
Trying to squeeze out those cries again. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't look good. It
Yeah.
looks like you're forcing it, which you are.
Yeah. And I also felt bad for her because she did really like him,
Yeah.
and she made the decision that Athena wasn't able to do, as we'll come on to. But like it wouldn't have just been easy, like, oh thank God I'm away from that creep. Like she did actually think she'd found the one for a while, so it was very brave and strong of her.
And thank goodness, because he really showed his true colours. And in
He
the way he
did.
kept saying, like, I seriously thought you were going to move past this one.
I get like when the experts talk about this is an important test of the relationship, and we're like, yeah, you're just trying to make telly, but in this instance,
It actually was.
It really did choke her in. Like, no way.
Yeah.
And Ree also said, I don't think we would have got into this relationship if it wasn't for all the tasks we had to do. So I was like, well,
Actually, maybe it does work for
Maybe it
some
does work.
people. Yeah. 2 out of 17 or whatever.
Quickly, Ree and Jeff.
Oh, Ree and Jeff.
Lovely.
I'm
Really
falling in love with
cute.
you. Gorgeous. They both looked gorgeous. They both seem really happy. I was thinking like, oh, this I'm falling in love with you thing is such an annoying, boring thing to say. But at the end of the day, if I was on telly and I actually was in love with someone, I'd be pissed off if they said I love you for the telly.
For the first time, yeah.
If you said it to me for the first time on TV, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I think some people would want to document it, but I don't think we're like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or would you mind?
No, I think you're right. I think there's other moments to do it, isn't there? But you could have done it on your own before and then say it again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I think their personalities, they both are cautious and take things slowly, and so it suited them. Like it was a big enough of a thing for them to both have said that. And they're super happy and really, really sweet, and they had such similar vows, which was really cute. I can't remember what, but they both said something along the lines of like, what you've seen in this experiment is exactly what you're going to get on the outside.
Yeah, really cute.
That's really nice reassurance that you're just going to like just carry on as you are rather than everything changing all of a sudden.
You keep saying things that have re in them. The reassurance, really nice.
Really nice reassurance.
Yeah, that similarity was really cute and just goes to show that they are, I think they're little soulmates.
Yeah, I would put money on them still being together at the reunion.
Me too. All right, Adrian and Athena. Let's go.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, it's on brand. It's totally on brand for these two.
It was like, what's happening? It was like Dr. Evil and Frau.
That is so true.
What's her name? With the long plaits coming out.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's exactly what it is. Like
Wasn't
being
it?
nasty to each other, and then they're both like, he's like, I'm hard, you wet. Yup, let's go. Gross.
And everyone in the room's like,
all of the cameramen are
have
like,
to leave?
what's happening here? They were totally doing.
It was insane.
I loved it for that reason, though. Like,
was-
it's not going to last. It's not going to work. But they've, at the end of the day, they've got chemistry.
They have. And, you know, I think Athena was trying to convince herself, like, maybe we're just taking this too seriously. Maybe we can just have fun. But
You have a
it's
child.
not going to be that way for her. Like, she is still going to be hoping the whole time. It's a disaster, but loved to see it. The twinny, when she said hi to the twin, hi to Cleo on Zoom. Hi, twinny.
The double hand squeeze.
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk. Hi, twinning. Honk, honk. That really made us laugh.
Cleo really tried her best.
Yeah, Cleo's a good sis.
Really good question. Would you, if you had a daughter, would you want your daughter to go out with Adrian?
And she's like, if she's getting good dick, then yeah.
Like, you know, like, come on, girl, have a think.
You said, like, it's crazy that we have to ask ourselves that sometimes to, like, give ourselves the same respect.
The daughter question. Yeah, it's crazy how little women have been taught to respect themselves. Early on in the experiment, like when it was intimacy week, she said the sex was vanilla.
Yeah.
So I'm like, has it actually gotten that much better, or you just got this
is the
weird
thing.
attraction?
I don't even think it means that the sex is that amazing, just because I think there would be there's something that she finds irresistible about getting the attention of such a man who appears to not give a shit about anything.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
it's like the seducing of him, that she feels she has control over him, when probably the sad reality is that he could be persuaded in 2 seconds by lots of people.
Yeah.
But-
She also looked kind of like as happy as she did on the wedding day in the final vows.
Yeah.
Like, I suddenly thought, oh, she looks happy.
Yeah, because I guess the next 10 hours is probably going to be pretty good. Then after that, it's going to be horrible.
Probably going to be pretty good. They've been living in that fucking apartment together for...
I know.
Some of them say 2 months, some of them say 3 months, some of them say 8 weeks. I can't keep up, but yeah, there we are.
The eye roll she did when she arrived. And he was like,
Hi,
hey,
Adrian.
hi. But now we know that was her trying desperately to be grumpy at him from the start.
It's so funny that she still wanted to be with him even though he also said no.
I know.
And they both said, I'm walking away from this experiment. I'm walking away from this relationship.
And then he did his like
Don't smile at me,
slimy
Adrian.
little smile. Oh my God, it was hilarious.
Well, good for them. They won't be together, but good for them.
They're just steaming horny, aren't they? But
Yeah, there's no way they could get away with having a long distance relationship because he would get caught out immediately.
No
because everyone will know
way.
who he is now.
God alive. It's going to be an absolute disaster at the reunion.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I cannot wait.
Okay, well then, let's get to the final, the piece de resistance. Oh, it's heartbreaking. I'm still loving Ryan in a weird way from this. And
I am. Yeah. Although his like some of his worrying manosphere things popped out a little bit in his final speech, but
fucking hell, yeah.
when they were in their hometowns again, and he was beaming at the camera, and we were going, "Oh my God, is he really about to say yes?" And she says no.
So when they were at the apartment, we were suddenly like, oh my God, it's happened again, where they're back together and they love each other and it's really weird. They're obsessed with photos. They seem to think that photos mean something more than they mean.
She said, I do really like Ryan. I mean, we take great photos together.
They always say this. And I'm like, that's not what it means. You take a photo to capture a memory, not to create one.
Yeah, they were like, look at all these memories, but the memories were just them standing in their hallway taking a photo.
I felt like that sounded like what I just said sounds like a line from The Fault in Our Stars or something. You can take that if you want. Yeah, and then they saw the wedding video, and that's what derailed Jacqui. Because she remembered, actually, Ryan is not a good husband. I was like, what?
She said I love Ryan before. She said she loved
she
him.
said she loved him. I love Ryan. And then iPad. Take the iPad.
She was like snuggling into him and then like slowly getting further away as the memory of not getting his jacket dawned on her. Oh my God. Jacqui Jacket Gate came back to haunt us.
Jacqui Jacket Kate. And then they went home. We were kind of flicking between their respective homes.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. They were saying the opposite of each other. And they just made him look like such a mug. Such a mug, which is so unfair. And like Jacqui saying, I don't feel a sense of attachment to Ryan anymore. Oh my God, what? Since when?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Ryan has shown...
shat on all my hard work and effort.
He's shown a lack of impressiveness. He is underwhelming. and then he just said, and then he goes, she finally accepts me for me.
Even like sticking up for her against his friends who hate her guts.
I'm glad that they were saying shit about her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really like made sure to say like, do 2 weeks of niceness make up for 2 months of evil.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he said that.
Yeah, we obviously didn't get to see him probably like, because at the start he was thinking about her and all the, fond memories, warm memories. And then probably in the second half of the week, he suddenly realised, oh my God, I don't have the fear and terror of thinking about what how she's going to respond to me every second.
Yeah.
So we obviously didn't get to see that dawning because the editors were playing tricks on us.
Yeah, I actually forgot that he said no.
Yeah.
That is so good.
He did. He was quite...
He was a bit evil.
Deranged in this
he was
as well.
Deranged is such a good way of putting it, which kind of shows, I guess, how well they're matched.
Yes, because he was like laughing and like smiling kind of with tears in his eyes when she turned up. Like,
he also
really
cried
excited.
when he said, your husband, your partner,
then
your
crying.
man. He cried.
Yeah.
Crying. Also, one other thing about Jacqui, how she was... First of all, she said, I can't wait to spend life free from Ryan, which was so rude. But she also kept banging on about delivering a speech.
She was really excited about her terrible speech.
And I think she forgot that he would be saying something as well.
I know.
Because she's so obsessed with like doing a thing.
I guess she assumed he would definitely just be saying yes to her.
And he didn't.
So weird.
So great.
Yeah, she didn't think about how she would have to respond to him.
I'm so pleased that he said he'd be walking away.
After saying, I like our sexy time.
Not sexy time. I like our sexy time.
I like our sexy time. It's good.
Sexy time?
While you're dumping someone?
That is so weird. And then, I like our sexy time. Thank you.
Yeah.
They are absolutely
bizarre.
They are nuts.
Because, I'm sure there were so many more criticisms that he could have brought out, but his like manosphere-ness was coming out when he was saying like, I even learned to put up with you constantly nattering away and leaving your hair everywhere and endlessly asking me what you need, what you could wear, and like, saying it was all a bit,
Ryan, what about this one? And then him laugh. I was like, okay, fine. So when it came to her speech and she had her lines which she thought she ate, your biceps won't be the reason I get pregnant.
I love your being picked up by your big biceps, but they won't be the reason I get pregnant.
She's saying he has a small penis?
Oh God, I didn't even think about it
or
like
is
that.
she saying you spend too much time in the gym? Oh, is it because of test?
Oh, it's test.
So it didn't even work. Your line didn't work, me love.
No.
We've only just realised. We watched this show with a very critical eye and we didn't even pick up on that. That's a test criticism.
So weird. Thank God you didn't get pregnant.
Oh my God, that baby would be absolutely Coco Loco.
Oh my Lord. She also said, you planned a gang attack on me.
So funny. She also then complained about his dominance, and I'm like, not the whole time you've complained that he wasn't dominant enough and that you had to be in charge all the time. So what are you on about?
Honestly. And it looked like she was gonna, she'd done a bit of self-reflecting. She was like, I've realised you shouldn't try and fix your husband. He has to do it on his own.
Because I am patient, optimistic, empathetic. I'm like, what is this about?
She's terrifying.
She is absolutely awful. And the best line, I guess, probably, sorry, Jacqui, wasn't you. Be gone with you, horrible woman.
Very love on the spectrum.
But very love on the spectrum, very manosphere as well, in a weird way. Yeah. But also medieval.
Yeah.
So
you're left with that thinking, who the hell would ever manage to be in a relationship with Jacqui?
And then the Tassie number plate.
Your favourite kind of clue is a number plate clue.
Like, that number plate's from Tasmania.
Talking of love on the spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True.
Daisy likes recognising where a car has come from by looking at its number plate.
Yeah, but I think in my mind that is just the most obvious thing in the world. I like see a car in town and I'm like, oh, German tourists.
Your brother, I think, asked me what my car was when I learned to drive or something like that. I don't know, green?
I don't know, green.
I don't even know what kind of car I'm driving right now.
That's not true because it's the best
I do,
car.
But you know what I mean.
Tell the people.
Honda Jazz, baby.
I love the Honda Jazz. Yeah, I know, like, I can look at a car and I know what brand it is. I don't know why. I don't have any interest in cars. But I look at the motorway, I'm like, Volvo, Audi, Mercedes, blah, blah, blah. I know them all.
So that meant that this moment...
I thought that we were talking about that for a minute. Sorry.
It was just a quick jump off.
Oh, sorry.
Now we're coming back.
Tasmania, golf. What the hell? And you pointed out to me that he put her quite high up in the ranking challenge.
I think he put Lauren first, didn't he? Because he was terrified. But yeah, she would have been second.
And she said, oh, well, she's a bit trashy or something.
Yeah.
So
love. That's made me wonder whether they've been, I wouldn't put it past Jacqui to have been like, texting him the whole time or something.
We're about to find out because do you remember it says in the preview that Ryan says they were doing it while we were talking while we were still married or something, even though you're not really married. But anyway,
I can't believe.
I'm relieved actually that we find out now because we've known about this spoiler for fucking ages because someone commented it on our YouTube comments.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting that now we can finally know about it and watch it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so glad that it happens in a reunion because usually you find out about these kind of couple mix-ups like afterwards.
Yeah.
So exciting.
What a hilarious combination. Oh my God. I cannot wait.
I'm happy for her. In a weird way. I'm like, yeah, have Clint. If you guys are happy, weird. If that makes sense, fine.
I know what you mean.
He's crazy, obviously.
He did say, like, don't you want to Lauren, don't you want to make some of the decisions? Well, now he's got somebody who's going to make quite a lot of the decisions. Although I'm sure she'll be like, you need to make the decisions, but then make all the decisions. I don't know. It's bizarre. Cannot wait.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Let's do it now, shall we?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Really excited for the reunion. Oh. Thanks for wearing sunglasses with me and making me feel less freakish.
You're not a freak. I love you.
Love you. Bye.